Hey everybody, this is Tony and I'm here today with a special guest, none other than Mr. Gary Lil G Jenkins. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Now, of course, the world knows you pretty much from being one of the lead singers of Silk. But I know you got some new solo music coming out, so I want to talk a little bit about that. It's been a minute, so what's going on? Tell me about the new music and when can we expect it?
Okay. Well, the title of my new project is G7,
Okay.
No Parole.
Okay.
And what that means is that I'm sentenced to life in music. I'm not getting that. So I got to keep bringing the funk and the fire for y'all, you know?
Yeah.
And the reason I said G7 is because 7 is my number. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the baby of 7.
Okay.
And 7 is the number of completion.
Right.
So, now that I've embarked upon this situation right here, I decided to change my name or have another alias.
Okay, okay.
Everybody knows Gary Jenkins as Lil Gary from my hometown church and Bobby Jones. And then I elevated to Lil G with Silk.
Right.
And so, those are still there because I'm still with Silk, everybody. Hello. But, we're just spreading our wings a little bit more. So I'm just spreading my wings and, venturing out and everything. So now we have G7, No Parole. And the first single is called That's My Baby.
All right. So the project is going to be a full album though, right?
Yes, full album.
Okay. Do you have a release date for the album as of yet or no?
No, not as of yet.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you little by little. I'm going to give you the first single on September the 7th, of course,
Right.
Everybody. September 7th, everybody. And then I'll come behind that one with another single, and then I'll drop the album on you.
Okay, that makes sense. Now for your solo stuff, Silk pretty much jumped into this mold of that, love song, freaky songs, all that kind of stuff. For your solo stuff, do you find yourself, having to find your own lane beyond that?
Well, see, that's what this project is all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing all of my other lanes. Of course, that lane is there.
Right.
Ladies. Message. No, but yeah. But a lot of people don't know that I'm a full-fledged musician.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that I'm a producer and a writer.
Right.
They don't know that I've done multiple songs on all of the Silk records and etc. And for some other people, Sir Charles Jones, etc. Getting with a lot of different camps and teams and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to show the world the rest of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
G7.
Absolutely. I think it's time, especially during these times anyways. If you, like I always tell people, if you haven't created something during this whole time, I don't know what's going on in your mind, but it's got to be something wrong. So I'm glad to hear that though.
Yeah.
So, but I want to just let everybody know that you really are a dynamic singer on your own right, no matter what. So I want people to be able to hear that and get that. I know we already heard it before, but just, without everything else, you get to hear you by yourself pretty much. And I think it's going to be something big and very good. I can feel it.
Yes, sir. I'm very excited about it. A little nervous and excited all at the same time, because, I really want people to love what I do, and it's very important for me that I give y'all what y'all need, and what y'all want. I'm not gonna be a happy camper if you're not happy with
it. That's all right.
Oh, let me give a shout out to my main man, Jay Hot.
Okay.
Jay Hot, producer extraordinaire. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's a lot that do know. But for those of you who don't know, watch out for us. I want to give a shout out to my main man, Ray Lavender, you know,
Uh-huh.
etc. There's a bunch of people, Monica Elam, you know, Isaac Morris, you know, Byron, you know, a little bit everybody who's been kind of putting their fingers in the Kool-Aid, you know,
Right,
to
right.
make this thing come about. But the first single is actually a song that was produced by Jay Hot,
Mm-hmm.
and as he's one of the main producers on my album. He's the
Okay.
main producer on my album, and I wrote it. So,
All right. I'm always glad to hear artists say something like that. That mean more money, hopefully.
publishing and residuals.
That's
Hello.
right. That's right. Speaking of that, though, I want to talk a little bit about of course, your career with Silk. You guys had numerous hits that everybody know that still play on the radio right now today, just like it just came out. So from Freak Me to Meet in My Bedroom, Lose Control, Happy Days. It's a whole list, you know what I'm saying? But Silk really in the beginning jumped out the gate with a double platinum album, first album, and then that second album, you guys were kind of like it was gold, but it wasn't as big as your first one. But what point did it, turn for you to say, let me learn the business part of this, and try to get more involved in what is going on?
I would say, after the first record, that's when I really set my mind to it. I went into the situation kind of knowing a little bit, because I had some people. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
And I had some people who were behind me, in Nashville, while I was doing my thing up there, who got behind me, and I was learning a few different things, of course, when you're first getting into it on the level that Mr. Keith Sweat brought us in.
Right.
It's a totally different ball game,
Right.
you have to work out.
Yeah, definitely.
90 days, so you really see what's really happening and everything and stuff, but you get acclimated to it.
Right.
And I'll tell any young artist today, who's looking to get into the game, that's most important right there. The knowledge, get as much knowledge as you can from the from the older dogs in the business, and everything else. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And don't make the mistake of thinking you can do it all on your own. There's a lot of situations in social media and everything where stuff has taken off, that's good, fine and dandy and everything and stuff like that. But what's happening after that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, I'm all about there being room in this industry for everybody. And it is upon us to teach the youngsters, what's going on.
That's right. That's right. Now, of course, like you said, Keith Sweat was really an intricate part of you guys' initial success and pushing you guys in the music that you had carved out for yourselves too, because he was involved in it. Which, if you didn't notice, you had to be crazy because it was like a Keith Sweat sound, but just different. Because Keith really took over in the late 80s with songs that pretty much, had that sound on it. But after you guys pretty much said, we want to turn from this and do things on our own, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work out necessarily the way you probably thought it was. But did you ever regret that later on down the line? Or were you thankful for it, really, to have the experience?
Well, working with Keith?
Yeah. So after the first album, I know you guys didn't work with him on the second album, basically to like try to write more and produce more and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm forever grateful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything is a learning experience for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really, place this blame on this person or that blame on that person or, things like that. You have to just initialize and take it within yourself and say, well, I allowed this to happen or I allowed that to happen. So take it, learn from it and turn every negative into a positive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it was a great experience, man. It was, and we still work together today. We doing a lot of shows together.
Okay.
And all of that. And possibly we'll get back in the studio, together pretty soon, or whatever,
Yeah.
It's all business, and it gets personal because, you build relationships, with people,
Right.
He's like our father. He brought us into the game. So,
but
I'm forever grateful that we're still here where we are now.
Right. Thankfully, in a place where few people can sit and say, my body of work can speak for itself and still be all right. Not everybody can say that. So you guys really did have something special, and whatever you gave musically, it was special. Beyond the lineup change, beyond the problems, whether it would be money, whether it be producer wise or whatever it was, you still had a body of work that you can sit on a day and people are just like, wow, I love this. I remember, when this happened, I was listening to this song, or I remember when I had my first child on this song, that kind of stuff. So that's what I call legacy music. That's what you got.
Yes. And that's what I want G7 No Parole to be. Yeah. I'm never wavering. I'm not going to follow the trends. I'm going to be me.
Right.
Because that's who the fans and stuff fell in love with then. So why should I take that away from them? So they're going to get me with a little bit of hot sauce and, some red peppers. And
everything mixed up.
That's right.
That's all right. That's all right. But that's what people love to hear. You know what I'm saying? Diversity in your music and not you just being one way all the time. Sometimes, though, artists can get stuck in a mold depending on who it is and what it is. Because, in the 90s, a lot of artists sounded similar sometimes. And you got people like, H-Town with Knocking the Boots. They got stuck in that kind of thing where people are like, I don't want to hear women empowerment. So I want to hear this. I want to hear about knocking the boots again. You know what I'm saying? So you get that kind of thing sometimes, but thankfully you guys didn't seem to really get that too much. Like, people know you for the sexy stuff, but you had love songs, you had other kind of songs that people love too. Even with like Lose Control, it was pretty much just, gospel harmony stripped down. It was, real, back to the basics. So you really got it all, you know what I'm saying? So I know that with this solo stuff, it's already there. You know what I'm saying? So it's done. It's done.
Yes. I like to thank the people, who helped me get in the game, and who helped me to learn, and helped me to better formulate G7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Now I gotta tell you, out of all the Silk songs, probably every woman in my family plays Silk music. And, it's just a thing. I had a cousin this weekend, matter of fact, at a funeral tell me, I seen you going to interview Silk. I said, yeah, I'm one of the lead singers from Silk. And she said, oh, those are my boys. I said, oh, Lord, here you go. So this kind of thing is coming. But the song, If You, is really my song. Because, listen, I'm telling you, people don't understand that, you guys, of course, came from a gospel background. All of you guys really came from like a church background. And I know, when Freak Me came out, it was like, oh, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something totally different than gospel. But on If You, it was really like gospel to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you came in on your part, because John just took it and he ran with it. And you took it and then you slam dunked it. So it was like, what more can you get from this? I don't think
shout out to the
boys. Yeah, shout out to them because I don't think production wise, music, any other way that you might have chopped it and screwed it, it would have made sense. It really is like an A1 record. That's it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem.
Where do you get a hold of mine though, bro? Because you might have a new favorite.
All right. Look, I'm ready. I'm ready. Always add to the collection, especially now. Music has changed a lot, though. I always tell people I miss the '90s because it was like a time capsule that we should have really bottled up. So
Yeah.
to hear people like you and other artists come back and do something new, but still, have that sound, that's all I really need. You know what I'm saying? Are there any other artists that you listen to today that you feel like embody that kind of thing?
Oh man, there's a few artists out today that I just they are the bomb.com. Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Silk Sonic. Come on, man. Are you serious? See, that's the vein I'm gonna be in right there. That's the vein I'm in right there. You got him. Oh, and my God, this beautiful young lady who plays guitar like I do.
Okay.
She probably plays some other instruments like I do. Her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. We got some fire here. Somebody been listening.
Yes.
And it's a lot of good artists out here now, and the R&B music trend is starting to come back around full fold, and it's even dwindling on into that demographic right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's immaculate, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm glad to be one of the innovators of it and the creators of it, and to still be here today and to be intermingled with them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So. Yeah. Silk, and you guys, like I said, carve your own lane. But I don't really know if you guys get the credit that you deserve so much in the industry, because if I you people call out groups or guy groups or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's not always Silk that you hear. And I'm just like, these guys have platinum albums. They really had all the hits. I don't know where y'all was at, but they had all the hits. Do you feel that way sometimes, that the group didn't necessarily get as just due?
Yeah, I just attribute it to the race is not given to the swift, to the strong,
right,
but to the one that endureth until the end.
That's right.
I got a lot of stamina, so I'm gonna be here for a minute.
I know that's right.
As long as the good God Almighty let me be here on this earth, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's it. Because you know what? When somebody loves something, though, and they truly believe in what they're doing, they can tell. And that's something I can tell in anything that you made musically, that you really love what you do. You study what you do. You practice this kind of stuff. So it's not everybody that you can say that about, but people like you guys and yourself, I can tell that music really is your life. It's not just something you just picked up and said, hey, I'm gonna try this today. Some people are doing that. So thank you for being, truthful and honest to your craft, to be able to give us something that we love and appreciate, and, carry on later down the line and let your children hear and grandchildren or whoever,
It's the Aquarian in me. I'm very passionate about everything I do. From picking up the instruments to even to acting. You know what I'm saying? So, I got to do it right. I cannot misrepresent.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of the acting too, I want to talk about that. Of course, one of the first times, matter of fact, that I've seen you or was introduced to you outside of Silk was in Medea's Family Reunion, to play. And man, you really killed that performance every single time, every single number. You killed it. It was really like something to see. It's like you almost went somewhere special to just lay it on the line on that stage. I don't even know if you felt that way, like when you were doing it.
Oh yeah, I had to get in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But how was that to jump into acting right out of the music? Because you had singing numbers in there, don't get me wrong, but that was something totally different. And then you were doing it on stage at that. It wasn't just like a movie production.
Right. Oh man, I was involved in theater in high school, little bit in college. I even did operas in college.
Okay.
You know, so the entertainment period has just been in my blood since I've been from 5 years old on. You know, so anytime that I had the opportunity to present myself and to entertain,
right,
I was ready for it. So that's the way I've always been, man. And I always put 175.999%, into it. And the reason I didn't say 200%, because sometimes I get tired.
There you go. At least you can be honest about it,
Right. So, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy, when I receive, the accolades and the blessings that I receive from it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a great way to have you introduced to a new crowd who might have not known you from just a singer. You know what I'm saying? Because that play, matter of fact, was the first play that I ever saw from Tyler Perry too. And then seeing you in it and the performances that you gave was really believable, So you did what needed to be done. I'll put it like that.
Thank you.
But where are you now with acting? Are you anticipating doing some more stuff, stage work or film or any of that stuff?
Yeah, I'm gearing up for some things. I'm starting to get some calls now because that little lady named Covita, the little 19-year-old little girl coming in here wrecking shop on everybody and everything. She kind of, lighten everything up for a minute. Whew.
Okay.
It's crazy. So, but it's starting to come back around.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, definitely. But
y'all look out for it, because we're gonna be on somebody's stages somewhere.
That's right. It's crazy because Black people, I always say, are the most creative and innovative people on this earth. And that's not racist or anything like that or towards anybody else. Let me just put that out there. But I always say that just because, when we feel like we couldn't get put in films or different things like that, you see this whole, how do you say it? This whole train moving with stage plays and different directors and producers coming up with different stage plays, and actors and actresses been putting this kind of stuff beyond just Tyler Perry, because you had a lot of people that were doing it, matter of fact, in the early 2000s too. But just to have somebody say, hey, you may not be able to get over here, but you can definitely come over here. Let's do this. And it worked, because a lot of those plays right now, some of these people know some of these actors and actresses for, and some of them went to BET and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that we have that kind of thing, and not just sit around and say, well, I'm going to wait until they do this. No, we need to work. Let's go.
Right. Let's go.
Yeah. It's amazing though. It really is. I'm glad for COVID for two things, because it gave people a lot of time to reflect and think. And I think one of those things that it gave people time to do was listen to music again, for real.
Yeah.
And not just.
And it also gave us the opportunity to be creative.
Yeah.
And to come up with different ideas to do some things, When you put in that situation, I gotta do something. It's that wheel turning.
Right. Because you can't just sit and do nothing. And I felt that way too. That's why I had to start back doing my interviews. And I'm like, oh no, it's time to work again. Like we got to do something. But I was glad to see the resurgence of all the 90s artists coming back right before the shutdown. A lot of the groups came back and started doing shows again together. So I was like, God really does answer prayers, and this shows it. So from, Escape to SWV and you guys, High Five, all these different groups coming back. It's crazy. We really are. Yeah, we really are in a, I think we're in a good place right now. I think we are musically, we're in a good place right now. I'm excited to see what's coming next, because I think around the last 10 years, things got a little shaky. It got a little, I need to sit back and just say, hold on, wait a minute, let me see. but now with people like you coming back with solo music and the groups coming back and new artists coming out, it really is promising, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, very much so.
But I gotta ask you this though. In the 90s, we had everybody who was anybody, okay? If there was ever a group that could compete with Silk vocally, from moves, from the albums, from success, all the way around, who would it be to you?
Well, I mean, there's a few of them, that could get out with us, but I would have to say like New Edition.
Okay.
We looked up to them. Like,
oh
wow.
yeah.
Jodeci.
Yeah.
Shoot. Man, it was a lot of groups out.
Yeah, it was. You had
112, the 112s, Jagged Edges.
Yeah.
Man, it's kind of hard to say, who come up against, because everybody had their own different. That was the good thing about it. Everybody had their own different stilo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Everybody didn't sound the same, and then you knew the difference when you heard one group from another. Like I knew when I heard Boys to Me and I didn't hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was something totally different. But I had Buddy White from Intro on here a few months ago. But Buddy is cool. He's funny though. But one thing that we talked about as far as groups are concerned, and something I didn't realize was how hard it is to maintain a group. So in your mind or from your perspective, is there a formula to maintain a group, or does it free fall?
Not really a formula. It's just, whatever you and your unit, decide is what's best for y'all, or best for that group. Like us, we always did stuff on a democratic situation, diplomatic vote, right. All of that kind of thing, and we learned how to suck it up, and in any time you hit that stage, whatever's going on, shit, cut it.
That's it.
Get out there, hit that stage, and then you can go back to it if you want to after, but present one band, one time.
That's right. That's right. But I think you guys did that well, though. We've seen a lot of groups, go haywire in the public eye. Even with Jodeci, we heard about all this stuff, and even without the social media, which was crazy. So it had to be bad, But you guys really was more about the music and that kind of thing, and the success that you had. When you didn't have it, it was just like, okay, where's Silk? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily like, well, yeah, we heard they were in a brawl, or somebody just went to jail, or it wasn't that kind of thing. So I'm glad for that. But
we stayed right under the radar because we realized first and foremost that we are business partners, but we are also brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. So just let everybody know again about the new album, name of it, and the first single again, so it can be reminded.
G7, no parole. G7, no parole.
All right.
Sentenced to life in music, baby. I ain't getting out. First single, September the 7th. And the video.
All right.
Let me give a shout out to my main girl, Miss Jasmine Lewis. She was my leading lady in my video.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Shout out to Jasmine.
Yes. And Free Boogie shot the mess out of this video, man. And I have to give him his kudos, and I have to give Miss Donna Jones, who assisted me on it, as well. you know, and everybody who was involved in the video, man, it's just lovely. And so that's releasing September the 7th as well.
Okay.
And the name of the single is That's My Baby.
All right. And it's going to be available on all streaming platforms as well, correct?
Available on all streaming platforms.
All right. And what's the date again?
September the 7th.
Okay. Well, before you go, though, just let everybody know they can find you on social media and all that good stuff.
Okay. My IG is at Gary Lil G. My Facebook is Gary Lil G Jenkins. My Twitter is Gary Jenkins. What else? And my website will be lilgaryjenkins.com.
All right. Sounds good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please be on the lookout for that new album and the new single, which is coming up in a few days, matter of fact. We got to support our own, and I know it's going to be big, so please look out for that on all streaming platforms. And of course, this is none other than the man himself, Mr. Gary Lil G Jenkins. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Session chocolate. Don't get none on you.